was born again today. It can change its name whenever it pleases, but with every new name comes a new birthday. It is also known as the person with no name and no birthday. It was me once, and it was likely you at some point, sifting through other people's lives like gold miners in the dirt, changing manners and morals as casually as if they were genes, taking the most corporeal of test drives. It has tasted a great deal of what Earth has to offer, listened in on many conversations, heard a great deal of heresy, and as much about love. It records noteworthy moments by memory. It notices that, oddly enough, the clock frequently reads some iteration of 1:23. Whenever it chooses to be reborn, time of birth is always 1:23 p.m. There are 12 separate minutes represented by some combination of those numbers each and every day. It is beatific during almost all of these minutes. It feels elated 11 minutes a day. It wears a watch programmed to both tell time and alarm it whenever it's 1:23 p.m. For these specific 60 seconds, it feels immense grief towards the life it was never able to decide or personalize. It buries itself in the black cloth of memory. A long, long time ago, when it was roughly 15 years old and life was simpler, it was outside playing in the mud one morning when it came across a large, black, marbled beetle. It cradled the insect inside its tiny hand and began running back to its room. It, at this age, had both a distinctive name and personality. It attended Sunday school every Sunday in submission. When young it was running toward the house with the beetle secured in its closed hand, it tripped and fell over a hole that was concealed by the mud. It reacted by thrusting its hands at the ground to catch itself. It then remembered the beetle and immediately looked at its palm. It was greeted by the crushed and smeared and still twitching remnants of the beetle. This was the first time it had ever experienced depression. And due to the tremendous feeling of worthlessness and sadness and anger, it prayed to God. It said to God,
"Oh dear Lord, please remove me from these uninhabitable feelings. I'd give up my right to practice individualism to erase and obliterate these emotions I am now feeling. Thank you, merciful God."
He listened. He not only stripped it of its birth name, he erased all traces of it. Everything that happened before it uttered that fateful prayer has been wiped from God's records. He made it so that it could only feel other people's sensations and emotions. He gave it no choice but to become someone else, and another someone else, and another, and so on. Just now, it was born, this time as a victim. It saw someone bleeding to death in an alley and immediately leached itself onto the dying spirit. The time was 1:23 p.m. It has been unconscious since the invasion and was inside a hurling ambulance. 2 paramedics hovering and frantically working. It was pronounced dead shortly after arriving at the hospital. The time was 1:23 p.m. as usual. It awoke pain-free as usual. The time was 1:24 p.m. when it spoke these words to God.
"O Lord, O merciful Lord, kill me now and in a manner as excruciating as you can stomach. Thank you, God."
Its life is a fever dream. Suspicions are made but never confirmed. God may exist. It longs to feel once again. It dreams of absorbing all emotions in the universe all at once, to implode from the weight of all love and hate, all bliss and anger, even all depression. God stays silent. It realizes that a total lack of feeling is the most painful punishment God can conjure. SPOT. Spot.